Tues. Kaptırıyor topu. Ali Tanrı doğru çok süratli. Ali orta yapacak. Sert orta. Sert orta.
Welcome everyone to Beautiful Bursa. Welcome back to another Maestro game production and welcome to the first cup game of this season. That is right, we are playing the fourth round of the Turkish Cup in a little break from our usual league games. But before we get on with that, we of course do have a couple of league games to catch up on. So I'm going to head back to the stadium. Let's catch up on those and I'll see you fine folks in just a second. Okay, so the first of these three games sees us go away to Kayaspor, a team we've seen quite a bit. As you can see, Emrehan whips one in, Mad nods into the bottom left-hand side, and that was the only goal of the game. So, we had 10 shots, they had 5, 4 on target to their 2, 1.17 XG to 0.38, 4 corners to 4 corners, 23 fouls to their 13. Yes, we was very dirty in that game. 1 yellow card to 1 yellow card, but 92% passing to their 90, 58% possession to their 42. As you can see, well, that's their team. They went for a 4-4-1-1, very defensive formation, but we eventually broke it down after 58 minutes. As you can see though, our team did lovely. So Zubzuk got a 7. Our backline was 7.1, 7.2, 7.6 and a 6.8 for Lassen. 7 for Shirok, 7.2 for Emrehan. Left hand side Milinkovic, 6.8, 7 for Mehmet, 6.5 for Gerkan though. Gerkan had a rough game and a 7.5 for Mad, but Gerkan was the only one who was a little bit disappointing. We have Musin came on, he got a 6.7. I believe I brought him on for Lassen because of that yellow card. We then have other substitutes in Gullier, who of course came on this side. Kun, he got a 6.5 on this side. So again, right hand side is probably our next area to work on fixing because he's been very disappointing and our youngster hasn't picked up the form that we really need him to do. And then Recap got a 6.6. So that was our first game. How did we get on in that second? Well, Matthew, the second game was quite a feisty one. As you can see, it finished 2-2 in the end. This one from Gerkan being the opening goal, smashes it past the boffin in goal, and then they got a penalty. Slotted it back. 1-1 is the score. Probably should have done better on that. Lovely defensive block here. Unfortunately, though, we couldn't get it away. They whipped in another cross. The mailman goes to clear it and smashes it back off Blanco. I believe that's Blanco's second. The mailman, though, whips in a corner. Lovely header from Recap, running in from the edge of the area. Gets us another one back, and it's 2-2. As you can see, they also had a goal disallowed 14 minutes in. If I remember correctly, that was an offside. So, yeah, it was an entertaining game. Unfortunately, we couldn't get all 3 points, but I'll take a point from a game like this. It was a scrappy one, and we managed to still retain a point. So, Zubzuk, he got a 7.6 in goal. Our backline was a little disappointing in this game. 6.8 for the mailman, yes. 6.9 for the mailman. It's not a bad rating overall, but the fact that he gave away that goal, smashing it off Blanco, that's a little disappointing. Kublai on a 6.5, also disappointing. Oblo, 6.6, again, disappointing. Musin, 6.7, that's admirable. He was playing there because Lassen had a suspension. He, of course, got fined. I accepted that. That was all good. Shirok got a 6.7 in central midfield. Again, decent effort. Emrehan on a 6.5. That is very disappointing. Milinkovic on 6.4. Also disappointing. But Mehmet on a 6.8. Gerkan on a 7.4. Mad on a 7. They're all decent ratings. Schmelzer came on, got a 6.7. Again, decent. Ozcan, 6.9. Decent rating. I believe I brought him on for Kublai, who was struggling. Derson, again, came on for Obla, who was struggling. Got a 6.8. And that 6.5 from Erin Goulier is again disappointing. Recap though, 7.7. Nice to see from him. So we had 10 shots to their 15, 4 on target to their 7, 0.74 XG to 1.95, 7 corners to 10, 15 fouls to 12, 3 yellow cards to 0 yellow cards, 89% passing to their 85, and a 55% possession to 45. But what about that third one? Well, as you can see, the third game was against Hatayspor, and it was a dull one, 0-0. We did have plenty of opportunities to score. Unfortunately, though, we did not capitalise on them. As you can see, we had 20 shots to their 8, 6 on target to their 5, a 1.56 XG to their 0.68. 12 corners to their 7, 11 fouls to their 5, 3 yellow cards to 0 yellow cards, 91% passing to their 80, 65% possession to their 35. Now, this is where I actually remember to do some set pieces. We now have some specific set pieces that I've set up. I usually do this in all Football Manager games, but I don't know. With this series, I just didn't get around to doing it. I finally got around to doing it. So, we tried that out. Throwings might need a little bit of work. I might put a second man in support, because last game our throw-in taker threw it short and passed it straight to one of their players and almost gave away a goal. So, I might do that, but as you can see, it was a good defensive effort. In fact, it was a good effort all round. It was just, we shut each other out. So, Zubzuk got a 7.1. The back line, of course, was a 7.6, 7.3, 7.5 and 7.3 respectively. 7.4 and 7.4 both for Shirok and Emrihan. In that attacking midfield role, we have Milinkovic on 6.7, Amendment on 6.9 and Gerkan on a 6.7 and Mads up front on 6.8. Like I said, no one really struggled. It was just one of those days. We then have our bench. Now, these are the 4 substitutes we made. They were pretty decent as well. Aaron Gullier probably could have done a little bit better on 6.6. Kun on 6.7 probably could have done better himself. Recap again, 6.7. Maybe could have done a little bit better. And same with Anal. He got on with a 6.7. So, without further ado, let's hop back to our stadium. Let's crack on with today's game and get this episode going. Okay everyone, welcome to the tactical meeting room for today's game. It is time, of course, to get on with our cup tie. And as you can see, our assistant thinks we should go from positive to attacking. Now, I did discuss one of their players with the media. He does look pretty good. He's quick, he can bounce in behind, so I'm not going to risk that. That's going to push our defensive line up a little bit too far, I think. Yes, we are a much better team. We could probably push to attacking when we get 2 or 3 goals, just try and push on, get 4 or 5. But right now, we're going to start off with positive, stay on the front foot, but not push too hard. As you can see, plenty of opposition instructions, so we're going to set them to do that. They want us to go for more of the starting 11. As you can see, they want Lassen in, they want Kubile in, Oblor, Mailman. They want literally the whole back line back to normal. Not going to do that. That is something I am going to avoid doing. Now, as you can see, Schmelzer is in the lineup, so I do need to swap this from supportive to defensive, since that suits him much better. So, we have Manfredini in goal, Schmelzer, Ahmet, Sedat and Musing at the back. Midfield of Shirok and Volkan. Shirok stays in from the starting 11, basically because we don't have another youngster I can give the opportunity to play there. We then have Kun on the right hand side, Recap in the centre and Aaron on the left, with Anal up front. Originally, Musin was playing in this ball-winning midfielder role, and of course we would have had Berber here, but I sold Berber because we didn't particularly need him. So, Musing has now dropped back to that right-back role. Shrock sliding in there. Our bench, of course, is Atbek, Lassen, Kuble, Oblor, Umar, Emrihan, Diarra, Gerkan, Mehmet, and Mad. I am going to make one change to that, in fact, because Milinkovic can play at both sides, and this is going to give us a very limited option when it comes to that side. So I'm going to bring on Milinkovic for so Gerkan can only play, so that's our right centre striker, left central midfield, and we'll do it that way because Mehmet can drop back into the central mid if needed, and that's our back line with backups for them also. So without further ado, let's crack on with things. Let's head on into the game. As you can see, a lot of players are lacking match sharpness because, like I said, this is the first game for most of them starting. Sedat is pleased. Anal is pleased. 3 players are with the tactical shape. He's complaining as usual, Mr. Kun. Kun always seems to have a problem with the pressing, but Omar, Volkan and Friday are all happy. These are, of course, the changes, and the opposition instructions went down quite nicely. So let's crack on with this game. Of course, after this, we will be having the cup draw, providing we win, of course, but we've got to stay optimistic. We are a much better team. So, come on, lads, show me you can keep the front. Yeah, let's do that. Punch fists. Come on, show me you can keep it going. Let's keep the motivation up. You come into this one in good form, whilst your opponents do not, do you, perhaps via complacency? I don't have any concern about that. We prepared in a professional manner and will now go and do our jobs. Admit criticism that you have struggled to play on the manner the board would like. Will we see an improvement on that front today? We've all been working towards it, but these things take time. We need to find the right approach. I mean, we're winning games. I don't care that we're winning them boring. As long as we win games, it doesn't particularly matter. I don't know why the board is so obsessed with attractive football. We're a newly promoted side. Of course, no team wants to play boring football, but results come first. Recap with the nice dispossession though. We'll play it to Kun. Kun now coming inside plays it to Recap. Recap across to Volkan. Volkan holding up the ball nicely in the centre circle. Ball over to Kun. Lovely delivery from Volkan. Kun gets past his man. Can he whip in a nice cross? No, he plays it back to Volkan, in fact, who has Shirok. Shirok at range plays it back to Volkan. Shirok, what are you going to do? You can't keep passing it back to Volkan. Or he can, because Volkan will just play over the top to Kun, who slides it into the bottom left-hand side. 5 minutes in. Beautiful efforts from Kun. Even more beautiful assist, though, Volkan. Look at this one. Our youngster coming up trumps. Whips it over the top. Left-footed. Bottom left-hand side. Kun gets it past Attila the Hun. And the Hun has gone 1-0 down. So, let's see if we can expand on that goal. Volkan will try to. He plays it over to Musin in this right-hand side. Can Musin get past his man? Plays it across to Anal. Doesn't need to. Plays it back to Volkan once more. Recap. Whips one over to Musin. Got acres of space on this right-hand side once more. Volkan will whip in the cross. And we can't keep it down. Anal. You had a beautiful opportunity there, Anal, to slot it away. Slide it in there. But Anal let us down this time. Right, Kun will take the corner. Corner, front post, headed away by Nazim. Recap will collect this one though. Recap again on this right hand side. We are finding space. Saydat plays up to Anal, who plays back to Volkan. Eren now. Shrok. Shrok over to Volkan once more. Kun. Volkan. Kun. Kun. Back to Volkan. Musin's made a run on this right hand channel. No one's found him yet. Recap plays it back to Shrok. Musin's just going to sit on the wing now. Kun, will he play it through to Musin? Musin's still trying to make room over here. Eren gets a shot off in the end. Unfortunately, though, offside. Doesn't really matter. Attila did make the save in the end, but nicely worked opportunity. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the finish in the end. So, we are at half-time. It's 1-0. Not the most convincing of results, but as you can see on the match statistics, we have been the better team. We've had 6 shots. They've had 1 total shot. 3 on target to their 0, 0.68 XG to their 0.07. 3 corners to 4, 8 fouls to 3, 1 yellow card to 0 yellow cards, 93% passing. That is what we are known for. 84% on their part, 67% possession to their 33, and Schmelzer is on a yellow card. So, head to the dressing room. We are going to give Omar an opportunity. So I need to remember to drop back, but first of all, we're going to give Omar an opportunity with Schmelzer on that yellow card. So Omar can come on. Now we need to head back to the other screen. How do I do that? I've gone and done a boo-boo. We have gone and done a boo-boo because I've not done the team talk. And I've just gone and made a sub. Anyway, no, that's not going to work. So I guess we're not doing a halftime team talk. Omar, you go on. Tell the lads. I'm sorry, I meant to do a team talk. Well, we're doing decent. They don't seem to need the team talk particularly. Emrehan is having a rough game, so we are going to take him off. So Emrehan can come off for Milinkovic, can he? Yes. We don't have a problem with the foreign nationals with him coming on. That's because we have 1, 2, 3, okay, 4, I believe, total currently on. Oh, 5, because he's Kenyan. So I believe we only have 5 on at the moment. So the foreign rule is not really much of an issue in this one. We then have Anal. He's having a rough game, so Mad can come on for Anal. Now, Shrok, he's a little tired. We're going to need him in a few days' time. We're going to keep him on for a little bit long. No, No, we're not. I apologise. We're not. Kublai can slide in there. And that shall be our substitutes. We'll hold on to that last one. Musin is 1 yellow card away from the suspension. We should consider subbing him off. That is a good shout. So we'll do that. Because we don't want to risk him getting a suspension for the next leg of the cup. Although the next leg of the cup would probably be a better spot to get his suspension than the following leg. Because I assume we'd have a pretty easy draw in the next round. So the round after is obviously going to be against a team probably in our league. Milinkovic though whips one across to recap. Enough talking about the next round of the cup and enough talking about the round after, because we need to get past this one first. It's only 1-0. Kun will hold up the ball nicely. Kubalay now got Omar in acres of space on the left if he wants to use him. Doesn't. Plays over to Volkan, who whips it to Milinkovic, nods it down and gives it away. Lucky for them, we get it back in Sedat. Now Lassen holds up the ball nicely. Will he pull it back? No, he whips across it. In fact, it's nodded away though. Volkan should collect this one and whips one over to Milinkovic. Milinkovic keeping in the ball nicely. Will he whip across of his own? He does. Mad, lovely header. Mad with his 7th goal of the season. And we are 2-0 up after 70 minutes, ladies and gents. We are probably guaranteed to be through to the cup now. So that's lovely to see. Trabzonspor 7-0 in their game. Safe to say they have won that one pretty convincingly, with goals on the 3rd, 13th, 15th, 45th, 47th, 57th and 71st, of course, just to add to that enormous list of goals. Anyone else being convincing? Not in that fashion. Not in that fashion. So, this game ends 2-0 in the end. 10 shots to their 2, 4 on target to their 0, 1.06 XG to 0.13, 9 corners to 5, 12 fouls to 7, 1 yellow card to 1 yellow card, 92% passing to 86, 67% possession to 33. As you can see, we had a solid all-round effort. 7.2 in goal for Manfredini, 6.9 for Omar, 7.2 for Ahmet, 7.4 for Sedat, 6.9 for Lassen, 7.2 for Kublai, 7.3 for Volkan, 7.1 for Milinkovic, 6.9 for Recap, 7.1 for Kun, 7.1 for Mad, and of course, substituted off, we have Musin on 6.6, he did struggle a little bit. Schrock on a 7.2 and Schmelzer on a 6.8, as well as Goulier and Einor, who also both struggled on 6.5 each respectively. And the best performer of today's game, Sedat Derson, our young centre-back, who's been aching for games. We've given him the opportunity in the Cup. We're going to continue to give him the opportunity in the Cup. I think Ahmet might probably not, as we play the bigger teams. We'll bring in Kubalay alongside Sedat, but I want to keep Sedat in probably for the entire cup run. I think he's borderline a starter, and we need to get him built to the point where he is a starter by time Friday leaves, whether that's sold, whether that's any other means of leaving, I guess, getting dropped for Sedat, but do need to work him into the team, so he's probably going to stay in for the entirety of the cup run. Well done, lads. That was a good win for us. You know what? It was. That was reasonable. I'll give him that. It wasn't the best effort. We should have probably won that one 4 or 5-0, but these things happen. Sometimes you just don't perform to what you need, and you still manage to get the result. So, Afyonspor failed to register a single shot on target today. Is that a reflection of your complete dominance? It was complete performance in every regard, and I'm happy. We can be pleased with our defensive performance today, for sure. It's not often that our goalkeeper will have very little to do, so I'm sure he's pleased too. Indeed, Manfredini, he came, put his feet up, enjoyed a free clean sheet, and that's nice to see. So, Bestport win in the 4th round, but who do we get in the next? We also received 20 grand for that, so that's nice to see. In fact, you can sit along with me for this press conference. Let's sit through it. You singled out Akut for attention before the match and clearly did a good job on him as your match victorious. What is your immediate reaction? I feel we deserved the win. We were excellent in every department and controlled the match. Akut wasn't a factor. Exactly. Do you wish to respond to his criticism following your meeting? Why? What did he say? I don't think Bestport are as good as people will make them out to be. he's an idiot. I don't particularly feel a need to address his comments. We were given a tough match and I'm pleased with our performance. I think too much is going to be made of this. No, we're given a good match. We'll give them their props. They gave us a good match, so they just didn't manage to win, did they? So today's result sees your team through to the next round of the competition and you must be delighted. Do you think you can go all the way and win it? As long as we're still in the competition, we have a chance of winning it. I don't think we will, because we'll probably come up against Galatasaray or Fenerbahce and get absolutely destroyed. Or Trabzonspor, looking at the state of their last result. So, having chosen to rest a number of key players, must be delighted with a 2-0 win. I am delighted with the win. It shows we have great squad depth at the club. Exactly. We have some good squad depth. So, let's move on forward. Let's crack on. Tomlinson, we made a cut disappear, because we're magicians, of course. So, we have the cup draw, I believe. Do we? Do we not? We should have the cup draw. I'm 99% sure we're supposed to have the cup draw. Where's our cup draw? There we go. We have our cup draw. So the Turkish 5th round draw is here today. 32 teams will go into the hat for the 16 match. Well, yeah, if there's 32 teams, there's going to be 16 matches. It's simple maths, you know. 2 teams per game. With Super League teams Galatasaray, Besiktas and Fenerbahce entering the competition. Well, I would be surprised if he wasn't still in it at this stage, to be honest. So Adana goes away, is at home to Ankaragü. Right, let's just draw these out. As you can see, the away teams come out first. So we are away now. Where are we travelling away to? There's plenty of lower league teams. There's these from the second tier. We have them from the second tier. Third tier. Second league, 1-1. They're all from second tier. There's plenty of second tier teams and plenty of third tier teams. We do get a second team though. I believe they must be newly promoted. They've got to be newly promoted because I don't remember them from when we was down in that league. We'll have a little look. I'm pretty sure you guys probably know much better than I do. So Turkish First League 9th. Prior to that, so they came down from the Super League last season. Weird. Oh, they must have come down the season we went up. They went down as we went up. Gotcha. They was in our league the season prior. Ah, interesting. No. No, I'm confused. Yeah. I think they basically did the opposite of us. So we're all good. Also, that is one heck of a drop. 17th in the Super League to going 2nd in the Turkish League to 21st in the Super League to going back down to 9th. Yeah. Rough journey for them. And hopefully we can make it a little bit more rough when we verse them later on. Now, I'm not sure. You know what? Sivasspor. Sivasspor looks like a good one. We'll have our home game and our away game to Rizspor, and then Sivasspor looks like a good team. Sivasspor up in 8th. We are currently flying high in 3rd. Now, I didn't do this earlier on, so we'll do this now. Let's no. There we go. Right, season preview. As you can see, we're actually predicted mid-table. Well, top half even, technically, so that's nice to see. Newly promoted Antalyaspor is actually predicted 11th. That's amazing for them. These two newly promoted, not so much. European Cup competition looks like it's going to smash Denizlispor down to 13th according to them. And, well, it's the usual suspects up here. Besiktas has gone and slid themselves up into 3rd place, but Galatasaray, Fenerbahce and Besiktas, we all, of course, expect to be up there. Trabzonspor, as we've seen, they have been solid recently, and I am expected to be 10th. Well, we, of course, were expected to be 10th. As you can see from the transfer market, Galatasaray spent 29.5 million getting 8 players in, 3 players out. Fenerbahce actually managed to make 6 million. Sold 7 players, got 2 players in. Right, Galatasaray, who did you acquire? I'm curious to who you acquired now. So they spent 10 million on Geraldo Arteaga. Okay. They are looking dangerous. Very dangerous. Now, as you can see, they did let quite a few people go, be that on loans or on frees, but they are looking deadly. We then have Fenerbahce. Fenerbahce bought in a few players. Now, they went more on the cheap end, so that isn't too scary. Now, Besiktas. I know Besiktas did make some big signings. Besiktas, as you can see, Watford. Okay, they spent nearly 15 million on one player. They got this guy for 3.7. Jesus, this is like a whole nother league in terms of signings. But that is it. We've done our cup draw. We've done our game. Like I said, Cyberpunk in the next one. So I hope you all have a lovely night. Thank you for joining us, and goodbye.